Family does matter. And I will say that is because as I drive down the street, or ride my bicycle down the street, I might say, I notice businesses, restaurants go out of business. The little Dairy Queen that was on that corner for years in the summertime and everything else hasn't opened. Could the owner died, or part of the family died, or they can't get people. Well, I've seen a couple of times, seen a sign up for help wanted, but they haven't opened. And it's hot outside, and that place is usually crowded. It also could be is that if a ma and pa run operation and one of the members died, there are restaurants that were open during the pandemic all the time because they were family affairs. And let's say the dishes piled up and then somebody washed them at night instead of hiring someone to do it if they wanted to do it. A lot of businesses cannot, I won't say cannot, will not open because they cannot afford the high cost of employees. McDonald's franchises, instead of paying guys $7.50 an hour for part-time, now you're paying guys $15 an hour part-time, plus the unemployment insurance. It used to be is a lot of people got paid cash. I remember some of my things years ago being paid cash, working and being paid cash. You do not exist. Well, why don't I exist? Because we're not going to give you you'll be paid cash. Then you can declare it on your income tax, which I did, of course. And family-run businesses, husband, wife, children are in there. I can't. Well, there's that one. There was a pizza place that seemed to be doing very well, and the pandemic hit. It hasn't opened. It's an empty building, permanently closed. A bar and grills permanently closed. A lot of little places that could not exist are gone. Storefronts are empty. To understand is that there's a lot of the stuff is a nickel dime business. That very small margin of making profit. They're finding that out in Europe. Well, there was this thing on PBS last night about Hungary, and the guy has a gas station, and as he said, I need to take in enough to feed my family, pay the taxes and all the others. If I don't, I close. And many businesses, especially from people that are from a foreign country, the whole family's in the business, a restaurant business, a little store business, a gas station business. And things are nickel and dime. You have, if it's a gas station, the whole family's involved, and it's all nickel and dime. If you get enough money, you get to feed the family. That's it. I remember there's also this thing about restaurants too. The children don't want to do it. They do it since they were little kids, you know. They were clearing off tables, backwashing dishes. And the parents retired. Say, I want to retire. And the children say, okay, but we're not finishing the business. And since I belong to a society that would go to these restaurants, a lot of the restaurants simply closed. The children didn't want to do it, or didn't want to do it anymore. It's too hard of work to do it 16 hours a day. As someone said, is there, you know, if you own a business, expect to work 16 hours, 20 hours a day, and the family members open up, and parents close up. And of course, it depends on which neighborhood you happen to be in too. Some neighbors are extremely dangerous to be in. It can get you killed. Gas station can get you killed. So yeah, that's a thing. But I go back and look at the restaurants. How many closed? That bar and grill has been open up all my life. That I remember it was open up, and that piece of place has been open for 20 years. And that little restaurant there was open, and that restaurant is no longer, not only not open, they tore down the building. That little fruit market never reopened. The pandemic killed it. It changed hands. And, well, which is pretty hard because you have to have enough in to make money. You're paying rent, you're paying heat, you're paying insurance. That's rough. And the family, as one guy I know had family and everything else, he said, the kids simply said, Mom, Dad, we don't want to do it. Oh, whoa, you know, but we don't want to work 20 hours a day. Some of the big banquet houses have, they say it's nickel dime. I've got people here that I have to pay $15 an hour, and I'm barely making it. I will close these doors and it will never reopen. But I got a mortgage. I have to bring people in here. I have to have weddings and meetings in this place. Or we close the doors and default. And during the pandemic, a lot of my suppliers had a hard time supplying me what I need for business. I found myself washing dishes. I had to let someone go. You know, he said, "Oh, hey, do it for cash." I said, "I can't do it." It's a really rough, especially the restaurant business. Bars that were open closed because they couldn't do overhead. The rent went up, and they were not getting in enough money, so they closed. But they've been a family for, you know, decades, yeah. But they closed. That is rough, and my being a little church and that, it was, you know, the old saying. I told my father that, my mother is that, I will do it up to a point, but you do realize somewhere down the line that afterlife will cease to exist. I told my parents long ago, afterlife is going to cease to exist. Unless there could be find somebody who's willing to put their 2 cents into this stuff. No. like most religions, because I got all the cousins, and I think they don't want to do it. A lot of our members simply say, "Nah, it's we don't have to be. We don't have to be religious anymore. If you're Catholic, you're stuck." But even the Catholic Church has found, even with the flux in from Mexico, well, you had to go to church down in Mexico, but you don't have to go to church while you're in the United States. Even in some of the big mega churches are finding the pinch that members are not showing up. Well, so they do live streaming, but still they don't have the bodies in the place. It was built for 20,000 people. They're not getting 20,000 people on a Sunday, even though they're streaming. Are they going to close? Well, if they close, I bet, well, let me see, who will replace them? Hindu temple? Maybe. Or a mosque. Will it be a synagogue? I would doubt it. Maybe. But it's a nice big little Christian church. Unless you can get the people in, you can't get the people. Unless it's just like Afterlife, it's just like all family businesses. They don't want to do it because all the work that's involved. Yes, even like Matina, a site, there's a lot of work. There's the monthly letter. The kids say, "I don't want to do that, Dad." Wife says, "Nah, it's too much." Oh, well, yeah. Well, I put it this way. They said, it's a family business, and it just, so somewhere down the line, I will, since it's a 501c3, you have to have certain things done. How do you disperse with everything? Well, there's no building, there's no land, there's no this and no that, and everything can be found on a flash drive. You're literally speaking, all the information in this computer, this laptop, can be stored on a flash drive. Well, yeah. You know how much you can store on a 1 gig flash drive? When we started out, it was megabytes. Now it's gigabytes. And you can get yourself a 64 or 128 gigabyte flash drive, and say to the state, when you no longer are in operation, just hand this to the state and it says, "This is the church." What's on it? A lot of crap. What are we going to do with it? Don't ask me. I just have to turn it in. Where's all your files on the flash drive? Don't you have paper? Throw it out. Don't deal in paper anymore. But don't you have all the records? It's all there. What are we going to do with it? I don't know. This is what happens when we set it up. We have to, when we go out of business and this corporation goes out of business, we are out of business. The same thing with a family restaurant. It's set up as a corporation. When it goes out of business, you got to get rid of, if you're a 501c3, a nonprofit, you got to get rid of this stuff. And things go well. It was just, hey, it was a nice watering hole, but do you want to run the business? No. You don't make enough money, and how long is it? Well, it's a 16-hour day. Just a little family business. And the kids say, "Hey, I went to college. I can make $200,000 a year. I can't make $200,000 in the family business." Unless you're, yes. So, restaurants go out of business, and this pandemic pushed a lot of things out of business. Will we go out of business? I would think within the next 20, 30 years, Afterlife will. Mom, no one really cares about you anymore. Goodbye.